Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Welcome. Wow. We've got so much to talk about. I mean, if you would have told me a year ago that our biggest topics a year from then would be tariffs and rare earth minerals, I'd have said, no, I think I'd rather drink a bowl of buzzard puke than talk about either of those topics. But here we are, making the apocalypse and mineral mining discussions fun.
Buzzard puke.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have rather had an entire bowl of it. I mean, did you ever
talk
think
about tariffs?
Yes. Yes. Nothing sounds less fun than tariffs.
A bowl of buzzard puke sounds less fun than tariffs, I'll tell you that.
Huh. Well, to each his own, I say.
Maybe a little ketchup on it might ease it down a little, but that's about it.
So, yesterday at her daily press conference, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt, she talked about former President Joe Biden, who gave a speech last night.
Yeah,
in
he was
Chicago.
on fire.
Oh, man.
On fire.
Yelling, screaming, stupid as ever.
Yeah, that's a fact.
But wasn't it great to see him again? No, I can't even. I can't even pretend. I can't even.
I didn't see any video. All I saw was.
You're gonna see some video.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
But this is Karoline here.
Yeah, she's gonna.
All right.
Yeah.
My first reaction when seeing former President Biden was speaking tonight was, I'm shocked that he is speaking at nighttime. I thought his bedtime was much earlier than his speech tonight. I understand the topic of his speech will be Social Security. Let me make it very clear ahead of former President Biden's remarks. President Trump, is absolutely certain about protecting Social Security benefits for law-abiding, tax-paying American citizens and seniors who have paid into this program. He will always protect that program. He campaigned on it. He protected it in his first term, and he's back again to continue protecting it.
Okay, that's good. A preemptive strike there. But I'm sure I didn't watch the whole speech, but I'm sure he said Social Security benefits are under assault anyway.
Absolutely. When are we going to have a conversation about Social Security benefits?
Probably around the same time we have that racial discussion we've been avoiding.
I mean, Donald Trump needs to address
years.
the Social Security issue.
Yeah. Yes, he does. Because he's trying to take it away from us.
Thank you.
So last night, Biden did give that speech, and he was as smooth as always. Man, that guy. Even screwed up the opening.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wait for the music to finish, old man. He's talking.
Yeah.
I haven't turned his mic on yet.
Unreal.
He is the dumbest.
Who deserve help and paid for.
Okay. That's when you just get a big hook and pull him off.
Right.
We're done. We're done.
All done. All done.
Couldn't even start his speech properly.
Jeez.
So, I mean, is there's not a cue card that he holds that says wait for music to end before speaking? Are they going to have to start doing that?
Obviously.
Oh, my gosh, this guy.
Obviously.
So bad.
Pretty amazing. I mean, can you not noodle that out for yourself without somebody putting a big giant sign in front of you that says wait for the music to stop, we can't hear you? Nobody heard a word you said until the sound guy finally is like, oh God, I'm going to have to cut the sound. Jeez.
That's
Wow.
That's good, even for him.
Wow.
That's
great.
Incredible.
And of course, he went after Trump supporters.
We can't go on like this as a divided nation, as divided as we are.
Can't go on like this.
Like I said, I've been doing this a long time.
Divided.
It's never been this divided.
Huh? Who did that? You and Obama.
Granted, it's roughly 30%, but it's a 30% that has no heart.
Oh, wow.
What we see in America.
Have no heart.
Where's he getting that 30% number? I'm curious.
I guess 30% hardcore support for Trump.
I guess.
All Trump supporters, well, 30% of the American people have no heart. Jeez. Okay.
Cool.
Well, that's because he believes that government should do everything for everybody.
Right.
Have no heart. I bet I contributed more to charity last year than he has in his entire stupid lifetime.
And that's on top of the charitable taxes that you are forced to pay.
Right. Yes, right. Right. That allow the government to do and perform such incredible charity. They've proven themselves to be so good at it, haven't they?
That's the word.
Jeez.
That's what they do.
Wow.
They spend our money wisely.
Oh, yeah. Right. On things we really care about, like transgender plays in Colombia. I mean, how often have we spoken about how badly we want that to happen? And for years, there was no money for it. But then finally, they funded it.
I mean, that's why we pay taxes yesterday.
That's why.
Is for that.
Yeah. Hopefully you've recovered from that a bit. Did you get money back, Jeffy?
Oh.
Yeah, a ton?
Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Pat.
Mm-hmm. They just gave it all back to you, said, hey, wait.
No.
You know what we realized?
Here.
We took way too much. We're giving it all back. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
That's not what they said.
It's not what they said to me either, strangely. But Joe Biden had more.
The quote is, move fast, break things. They're
What?
certainly breaking things.
Whose quote
We're
is
shooting
that?
first and
Who are
ending
you
later.
quoting there?
As a result, is a lot of needless pain and sleepless nights. Okay. My friend Governor O'Malley knows what they're really up to. He says, and I love his quote,
Okay, read it.
they want to wreck it so they can rob it. They want to wreck it so they can rob it.
What?
Why do they want to rob it?
Wait.
In order to deliver huge tax cuts to billionaires and big corporations.
Okay, hold on.
He's still spewing
There's so
the
much
same
there.
garbage.
First of all, O'Malley's like, please don't ever reference me as having talked to you in a speech. That's one. Number two, no, you probably screwed up the quote. And number three, it was a Mark Zuckerberg quote, move fast and break things.
Yeah, and Biden.
But that was the
Trump has
first
never
one.
said that.
Yeah, I don't
When
know.
has Trump ever said? Who? You might want to say
Right?
who the quote is from. Karl Marx? Mark Zuckerberg? Because it sounds like you're attributing it to Donald Trump, which is just it's flat out wrong. But that's all these people do, things that are wrong. So, especially him. This just is a reminder of how much I did not miss him.
No?
No.
No.
Wow. How nice is it to be rid of this?
Yeah.
That's all I
Doddering
thought about last
doofus.
night. When I was watching these clips, I thought, I'm so
Wow.
glad I'm not pulling
And I don't
these
know.
as
I
president.
couldn't find out how much they paid him to show up for this.
I saw the article said it's unclear if he was paid. Of course he was
This
paid.
is part of his deal,
Yeah,
right?
obviously he was
company
paid.
he's with. Yeah, he's
This is
with
part
them.
of his deal. It's so that's why he shows up. You think he just showed up at the advocates, counselors, and representatives for the disabled out of the goodness of his heart?
Nope.
No, there's not
No.
a chance of that.
He was paid $250, $500, something.
Absolutely.
Probably $250,000 to $500,000 for that
For
appearance.
that garbage.
And he's terrible. And they missed the first half of it with the music too loud.
He comes out, just starts babbling.
This next clip
Oh, no.
features pretty much everything. The barely audible whispering, the incomprehensible shouting, and of course the referencing of black children as colored children.
Oh, it's a Biden sampler plate. Oh, cool.
I remember pulling into the parking lot. And I had never seen hardly any black people in Scranton at the time and I was only going in the fourth grade. And I remember seeing the kids going by at the time called colored kids on a bus going by. They never turned right to
They were
go to
called
Claremont
colored
High
kids.
School.
They were called
I wondered
back
why. Asked my mom, why? So in Delaware, they're not allowed to go to school.
Why are they?
Public school with white kids, honey.
Oh.
That sparked my sense of outrage as a kid.
Of course it did. In fourth grade,
And these
yeah.
young
So
kids right here
believable.
can
Oh,
say
man.
things
Of course
like
it
that.
did.
Sense of
And
outrage.
about
Of
something
course
that's
it
really
did.
just unfair and unjust.
9 years old. He's pissed.
You know, my dad
He's
dad
pissed.
was an honorable man. And my dad used to have an expression. He said, Joey, your job's about a lot more than a paycheck. It's about
Oh,
your
that's
dignity.
powerful. Wow.
It's about respect. It's about being able to look your kid in the eye and say, honey, it's going to be okay, and mean it. That's what you're all about.
Wait for it.
That's what the legislation is about.
What
It's about
legislation?
dignity. Simple dignity.
Oh,
Everyone.
No. Wow.
Everyone
Yeah.
deserves to be treated with dignity, regardless of their standing, regardless of economic situation, regardless of who they are. Making sure that more than 60 million Americans who are living with disabilities are treated with dignity. It's who we are as Americans. That's what it's about.
yeah.
I mean it.
We paid
He
$500,000
means
for
it.
this.
He's not joking.
Dignity
he's
at
not.
work,
He's not joking.
at school, in their communities, in every corner of American life.
Okay.
Laws like the ADA need advocates like you. You're the ones that keep it going, God love you.
Oh,
You fight like hell every single day
he almost messed up.
to make sure the law is respected.
Okay, shut up, man.
Thank heaven. It's just a nice reminder of what could have been.
Let me ask you a
What
question.
could have been.
Oh no.
At 9 years old,
Mm-hmm.
was there anything that sparked
More
your,
rage?
More rage?
No,
More-
than some children in a bus? No. There was nothing. It
Come
was,
on now.
yeah.
Okay.
Well, he was a very aware
Right.
9-year-old, a very mature 9-year-old. I love these stories he tells. It's so ridiculous, and the audience
Mommy?
is probably eating it up.
Mommy, why are the colored kids standing over there?
Yep.
Well, Joey. So,
Oh my gosh, what a doofus!
and he had to act really angry there because that's who
That's
he's-
who the crowd is.
That's
Yeah.
who paid in the
Yeah.
$500,000 or whatever it was,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
And so he's been like, I'm really mad about stuff for you. Mm-hmm. I do not miss that man one bit.
The 0 to 60 yelling is a fantastic feature
Trademark.
of Joe Biden. That's so great. He goes from this to, damn it, I want dignity. Okay. That's really good. Really good. So back to yesterday's press conference, though, at the White House. Karoline Leavitt again addressed the Maryland man situation.
No,
Here she is doing that.
No, first of all, President Bukele said that he is not going to smuggle a foreign terrorist back into the United States of America, as many in this room in the Democrat Party seemingly want him to do. Abrego Garcia was a foreign terrorist. He is an MS-13 gang member. He was engaged in human trafficking. He illegally came into our country. And so deporting him back to El Salvador was always going to be the end result. There is never going to be a world in which this is an individual who's going to live a peaceful life in Maryland, because he is a foreign terrorist and a MS-13 gang member. Not only have we confirmed that, President Bukele yesterday in the Oval Office confirmed that as well. So he went back to his home country, where he will face consequences for his gang affiliation and his engagement in human trafficking. I'm not sure what is so difficult about this for everyone in the media to understand. And it's appalling, truly appalling, that there has been so much time covering this alleged human trafficker and this gang member, MS-13 gang member.
Now he's a
It's
human
truly
trafficker,
striking
too?
to me.
Yes.
Okay.
Now he's a human trafficker. Yep.
All right. You know what would be helpful is if you'd present the evidence of that. Show me why you believe he was a human trafficker. Show me the evidence of his gang affiliation too. I'd like to see that, other than the Chicago Bulls cap he was wearing.
What do you mean?
That's
Hold on,
what they've.
every Bulls fan right now.
Yeah, I know. I know. Well, if you have a Bulls cap and a hoodie at the same
Yeah,
time,
I left that part out.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
The
So
hoodie.
that's a hardcore indication of gang
It's
membership.
an indication of gang membership for a gang in Long Island, New York,
Okay,
a state he's
not from.
Garcia's never been to.
Yeah, he's not from. But okay, we'll get into this in greater detail coming up, because I do want to address this, and I want to address it with people who think. I mean, obviously there are some who are pissed off that we've even mentioned that we're concerned about it, and I guess we're not supposed to be. But we'll get into that coming up. But first, let me tell you about something incredibly important. And that's when a woman faces an unplanned pregnancy and the fear and loneliness that can take over. So many women in that moment think abortion is their only option, and they're really pushed in that direction. But thanks to listeners like you, that desperate search sometimes leads them to a preborn network clinic where they're met with love, support, and hope. And that's what happened with Maddie. She wasn't even sure who the father was, but after receiving counseling, prayer, and a free ultrasound at a preborn clinic, everything changed. Maddie discovered she was carrying twins. And in that moment, she found the strength to choose life. Her sorrow turned into joy. Preborn sees this miracle every single day. 200 babies saved every day on average. So your tax-deductible gift of $28 provides one ultrasound that can save a life. So how many babies can you help save today? Just dial pound 250. Then you say the keyword baby. That's pound 250, keyword baby. Or just go to preborn.com/Pat online. That's preborn.com/Pat.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
Karoline Leavitt also discussed a new Trump action on Social Security benefits, which he's trying desperately to remove from every single human being.
Oh, yeah, that's what that old man just told us, right?
Yeah. He's gonna take your benefits. He's gonna take your Medicare, your Medicaid. He's taking it all. He's taking it all. And you know where it's going? Right into his bank account.
Thank you. And his billionaire
and his
friends.
Billionaire friends. His millionaire and billionaire friends. But no, he doesn't hang out with too many millionaires.
No.
Those are low rent people to him.
No.
You know what I mean? So this is mostly going to his billionaire
He hangs
friends.
out with a guy that pretty much considers Donald Trump low life trailer park.
Yeah.
I mean, Eli is like way above
does.
Don.
Kind of does dwarf his fortune. But here she is on the Social Security benefits.
On the topic of Social Security, I have some news before I let you all go. Later this afternoon, the president will be signing a presidential memorandum aimed at stopping illegal aliens and other ineligible people from obtaining Social Security Act benefits. The memorandum will direct the administration to ensure ineligible aliens are not receiving funds from the Social Security Act programs. It will expand the Social Security Administration's fraud prosecutor program to at least 50 U.S. attorney offices and establishes a Medicare and Medicaid fraud prosecution program in 15 U.S. attorney offices. The memorandum will also require the Social Security Administration Inspector General to investigate earning reports for individuals aged 100 or older with mismatched Social Security records to combat identity theft. And the memorandum will direct the Social Security Administration to consider whether to reinstate the use of civil monetary penalties against individuals who engage in Social Security fraud, an effort that has been paused for several years. These taxpayer-funded benefits should be only for eligible taxpayers. And President Biden should think about what he did in his last term, which is allow tens of millions of illegal people into our country, many of whom were fraudulently receiving these benefits.
Just like we said, it's taking away benefits.
Taking away benefits.
From illegal aliens.
Had to
Took
say
'em.
it.
He just took them. He didn't. There's no discussion about it. He just took them right away from these illegal
Who
aliens.
does he think he is?
This is what they're trying to turn into. He's taking your benefits.
That's right.
It's incredible. They fight so hard against the waste and fraud movement that they're trying to eliminate the waste and fraud, or at least as much as they possibly can. And I guess we're not even supposed to look into it.
Right.
They don't want any of that being done.
Correct.
Now, if you want Social Security benefits after, say, 2032, you better cheer this effort on, because they're going to be gone if they don't fix this. If they don't stop the fraud and waste, there will be no Social Security benefits. None for
They've been
anybody.
saying that forever. We're
And
fine.
it's true.
We're
And
fine.
it's true. The well is running dry. And I think I just read this week. The date for that to completely dry up is 2032.
It's 32.
That
Yeah,
has stayed
I
pretty
saw that
consistent.
same article.
Yeah.
Man, I laughed at it because it's never going to happen. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
I'm sorry to stop the show, but Jeffy, don't move your feet right now because.
Hey, my glasses are right there.
Okay, I'm
got
looking
it.
out for you, bro. I didn't know how else to tell you. Step on your glasses, I'd be sad for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it very much.
You're welcome.
No idea how I want to step on them right now.
And they're taking your benefits, so you're not going to be able to afford any more classes. So you better take care of those.
Wait.
We all know you're on Social Security benefits. Don't try to deny that.
How long have you been on Social Security?
Don't worry about what benefits I'm on.
Don't worry. Since before the system started, Keith.
We almost. Now I couldn't have done the math, but somebody out there could have reverse engineered the math on that and figured out how old.
I think you can rest easy that somebody will do the math, and we'll be seeing shortly when those benefits began. All right. So Karoline also shared an update on China and tariffs. Here's what she had to say about that.
Look, the president has made his position on China quite clear, although I do have an additional statement that he just shared with me in the Oval Office. The ball is in China's court. China needs to make a deal with us. We don't have to make a deal with them. There's no difference between China and any other country except they are much larger. And China wants what we have, what every country wants, what we have, the American consumer. Or to put it another way, they need our money. So the president, again, has made it quite clear that he's open to a deal with China, but China needs to make a deal with the United States of America.
Okay, well, they do have a couple of cards, however. Let me just remind you about the few cards that they do have. But if you're scoring at home, stock market was down 155 points yesterday. No big deal.
Make it up.
This morning, the futures are up. Is that right?
I don't think. No, they're down. They're holding steady.
Okay.
At 23 points down. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine.
We're fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's great. Except that they're taking your Social Security benefits away from you. And they're canceling Medicaid.
Glad you're talking about that.
But other than that, everything's fine.
Donald Trump needs to address it, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Taking your benefits? I'm sure he will soon. Maybe one day. I don't know. I don't know why he hasn't yet.
I know.
Where is that?
He doesn't. It never says it.
Over.
When is he going to say it?
And over. When is he?
The spending bill that passed last night aims to cut $2 trillion. Right. Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, you shouldn't be asking me that question.
Thank you.
Okay. This will not be read my lips. It won't be read my lips anymore.
For those too young to know the reference, that's a reference to George H.W. Bush. Read my lips. No new taxes.
You know what happened after that?
He raised taxes.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're not going to touch it. Now, we are going to look for fraud. I'm sure you're okay with that.
Like people that shouldn't be
they're
not okay with it.
No, they're not.
Illegal aliens and others, criminals in many cases. And that's with Social Security. We have a lot of people. You see that immediately when you see people that are 200 years old that are being sent checks for Social Security. Some of them are actually being sent checks. So we're tracing that down.
So why won't he address it?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
When's he going to talk about it?
Never.
We need an explanation on it. So great that he's done that over and over. And they keep acting as if he hasn't addressed it. Or if he has threatened Social Security benefits, which he's never done. It reminds me a lot about the time when Democrats were saying that George W. Bush was going to reinstitute the draft. He was going to start drafting males back into the U.S. military. And Bush never, in fact, he said the opposite on multiple occasions.
Yeah, it was a Democrat that filed a bill.
Yes, it was. It was that not Bernie. What was that guy's name?
I don't remember.
He's gone. We lost him. Lost him since then. But I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking
about. But he was one of the goofballs in the Democrat Party, and he's
just one of them.
Charles Rangel.
Yeah, he was one of the goofballs at the time. Yeah.
One of the many. But it was they who continually tried to reintroduce the draft, and they always blamed it on Republicans. Republicans don't want that. They want the volunteer army because at least you want to be there. You know, you're getting people who haven't been forced into it and hate the military. They decided they want to serve. And that's kind of what you want, I think, right? A willing military. So it's just really frustrating. It's really frustrating. And they get all kinds of help in the mainstream media to push these narratives. And they're just wrong. They're just plain wrong. Back to Karoline, though, and China needs us. and we don't need them. I wish that was true. I mean, I know they do need us. They need the American consumer because, obviously, this is the biggest market in the world. They're only number 2, even though they outpopulate us by 5 times.
And they're starting to feel it. They're starting to feel it.
Yeah.
More than we are because they're closer to the edge.
Right.
But
okay, so
they hold some cards.
If they don't come to heel on these tariffs and companies are forced to import jobs back to America, then how is the Chinese government going to keep their peasants, as they call us, employed? And
they're not.
They're not.
And happy. They're not. It can't happen.
I think, especially we talked about that the economic secretary or whatever yesterday. I mean, he had that speech. I mean, China seems nervous. I like to see, much the way I like to see how Donald Trump puts Democrats in a defensive position. I kind of like to see this from China. Now, I don't want China to get to the point where they turn this into a hot war, which in the back of my mind feels like a possibility. But I do like to see. I like to see it uncomfortable for those that don't like it.
They've already done some things that they've already played some cards that they have, like suspending the rare earth minerals. They could go further than that and suspend pharmaceutical deliveries. But
I'm not a fan of that.
I'm not a fan of that either.
But I know
you're not a fan of
go on
that.
record.
That's even more important than the rare earth minerals.
Sure, I could give a flying crap about lithium. Okay.
Well, when we don't have any more computers or
whatever.
cars, you'll care about that.
Nah, not really.
Yeah, I think you will. I think you will. And the problem is, we should have been exploiting our own resources all these years. You know, that discovery they made in Wyoming, it's the Halleck Creek depository or deposits or whatever. It's a huge mine. We haven't taken advantage of it yet, but they discovered it. And what they thought initially was that there were 2.34 billion metric tons of rare earth minerals just in that one area.
You know it's going to be more.
That's more than anybody on Earth has.
And it's going to be more.
2,340,000,000 metric tons? Wow.
But there's probably a Canadian goose that flies over it a couple times a year that we have to take care of before we can start mining.
You know that's the case. I think President Trump will eliminate some of those barriers, but it's time now. Let's get it going. They've downgraded the American Rare Earth Agency has downgraded that it might only be 7.5 million tons, but nobody really knows until we start digging into it. Nobody really knows.
So the Salton Sea in California holds one of the world's largest lithium
and there's
deposits.
Another one.
Yeah, they just found that. Yeah.
18 million tons, valued at $540 billion.
Jeez.
We've talked about Minnesota, and there's one other place that slips the mind. But we have these God-given resources. We should probably use them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
These are thought to be some of the richest deposits in the world. The Wall Street Journal reported when this all came out that it would make the United States the world's indispensable supplier of rare earth minerals, replacing China. And, right now, China supplies 95% of the world's demand. That's unacceptable. We can't.
Sure is.
You can't function like that. And here's what separates us from China. If this were discovered there, they'd already be mining to capacity.
Oh, yeah.
They'd already be doing it. What are we waiting for? Especially in this environment, what are we waiting for? Get it done. Start the mining process. We have to do it. And I don't care how many of the geese
Canadian geese be damned
are disturbed by it. I don't care. You know what? Maybe some really nice goose fanatic will take them in, and just take care of them. Like you'll get a Chris Cruz type person who loves his chickens. Find somebody who loves geese and take care of them.
Take it in. There's too many Canadian geese anyway.
Right.
That's true.
Many.
Right.
That's actually true.
Michigan is just killing them now, so that's fine.
All right. We'll check in with Jeffy and chew the fat next.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Got some tweets here. Electric Boogaloo tweets, I sure hope buzzard puke isn't going to be the next flavor of Kexi cookies.
Oh, no.
Now, I can pretty much assure you, no, that won't be.
The point was that you would rather do that. That's how terrible it was.
Right, yes. Yes. So we're not looking for terrible flavors. I just want to make that clear. Dr. Free Range Prisoner, little known fact is that buzzards will projectile vomit up to 6 feet as a defensive move. I didn't know that.
That is interesting.
Thus the little known fact part.
I was just reading a story about how vultures, and I guess vultures and buzzards are different, or they're the same, or they're cousins,
they're second
or whatever.
cousins twice removed.
Okay,
Yeah.
they have an image problem, and there's a group out there trying to
improve their image.
What? Yeah,
they hired a PR firm.
Yes, they have.
Good. Okay.
Good luck with that.
You know what? It was Disney that ruined the vultures buzzards image because they were in that. What is the movie where the vultures or buzzards are all sitting on that? They're sitting there together talking about. Yeah. Oh, and they sound like the Beatles.
Yeah.
Right.
Waiting for the body to die.
All right. Lone Wolf 2965 tweets, more believable. Little Joey turned to his mom and asked, am I going to have to go to school with them? Am I? That is more believable.
That is more believable.
From that little douchebag.
It sparked my outrage.
Yeah.
Shut up.
At 9. Yeah, sure it did. Chuck Shazam Bartowski, if Jeffy steps on his glasses, it's over. Then he'll have to borrow Pat's lady glasses. I kind of like to see that, though, actually. Yeah, okay.
Wow.
We'll see. Jack Hole Taylor tweets, so Jeffy must be that one 300-year-old Doge reported that's still
Their
collecting Social
misreporting
Security.
is dead.
Yeah.
And
so,
thank you. How about that, Elon?
Clearly, he's still alive.
Thank you.
All right, let's chew the fat now with Jeffy.
All right.
Yeah. Hey.
There's a lot going on in our nation today. Lucky Jeffy is here instead of at the buffet. Here to give us the news in his own special way. Unlike Joe, his vim and vigor is on full display. Yeah. Just because there's a mic doesn't mean you have to speak.
Good point.
But he tends to break that rule this time every week. Not that any of us are upset by that. Now it's time for Jeffy to chew the fat.
So, I didn't put this in chewing, but rest in peace to Wink Martindale.
Oh no!
I
really?
know Wink Martindale. Was he 91?
Yeah.
He's Mr. LA Radio, Mr. TV Game Show.
The vaccine? Was he vaccinated?
Oh.
Is that what struck him down in the prime of life?
91.
They didn't say it was some sort of a pneumonia-related death, but if it had any time that it has something to do with that, they'd never say anything.
That's true.
Because
they never say anything about the died suddenlies. They never say it. They just don't list the cause of death.
Know.
I'm thinking vaccine. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think you're far off.
What was his game show? He
had so many.
He had a bunch,
but the big one was Tic-Tac-Toe, right?
Yeah. Maybe, yeah.
That was the big one, I think.
He was the ubiquitous Wink Martindale.
And he was the one of the things that I didn't know, and that was fascinating to me as I was reading about the life and times of Wink Martindale last night, is that he was one of the first guys to interview Elvis Presley on the radio.
Really?
Because he was this young DJ, Wink Martindale, was at the radio station.
He was a big-time DJ.
And the guy that was broadcasting played an Elvis Presley record, and it was one of the first times. And Wink said, "Well, why don't we just try to get him on?" And he got a hold of Elvis and brought him in.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh, and another fact on that is that Elvis said that he didn't know they were recording the interview. And he said, I would have been too nervous to do that if I'd known they were recording. So that's really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the king, man. That puts Wink on a whole new level.
Absolutely.
And only now, at the end, do you understand how wonderful Wink Martindale was. When it's too late to really appreciate it.
Right, yeah. Where was I years ago?
Where were you?
Yeah.
Where were you?
I don't know. A Minecraft movie, week 2, 80 million, 80.6 million domestic weekend. So it's up to 281 million from this past weekend, 550.6 million globally. The chicken jockey mania continues to grow more chaotic as desperate theater owners plead for responsible enjoyment. They are destroying some of these theaters. Jack Black showed up at one of the theaters in L.A., and he was there, and he announced, "Do not throw popcorn." But when you see the video, it really doesn't feel like that's what he means, because he gets the crowd all fired up and excited and cheering. And I could show you the video, but I don't have the budget for chewing the fat.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
The video, the company that owns the video wants about $500 a pop.
Oh, okay.
And the budget for chewing the fat is not covering that today.
Yeah, we've got the artist rendering.
There you go.
I took care of it for it. It says, please see my movie.
There you go.
See that?
That's a beautiful artist rendering.
Doesn't that look like
I thought
the
it was
real
a
thing?
photograph.
You
Yeah.
thought it was the real thing.
I really did.
Sure.
I thought it was a photograph.
Did you use your Post-it notes to give us like a movie?
Oh, I need to sign this. It's going to be worth something. Yeah.
Many theaters are bringing in security and telling teens that they can't view the movie without an adult present, posting on social media to teach your children some
That's
manners.
really something. Wow.
They're crying for people to come back to the theater, and now that they're coming back, well, that's not what they wanted. Okay. All right.
Well, I think destruction of the theater kind of isn't what they wanted.
Okay, first of all, some of the theaters are saying that there was destruction. I have not seen footage of destruction. I saw footage of popcorn and goo all over the place.
You didn't see the video of the teenager that brought a bulldozer to the theater?
I did not see that.
Just bulldozed the building?
I did not.
Whole thing came down. Whole thing.
Did not see that.
Just
The
bulldozed
killdozer
theater.
showed up at a screening.
Again, Chewing the Fat does not have the budget for those videos.
They were like, what does that even have to do with Minecraft? It's like,
you'll understand someday.
Yeah, one day. One day you'll know.
I mean, if you're thinking that you're going to just take your kids and watch a movie, good luck with that.
And that's what I would want. I don't, I'll
fun.
never forget going to the Rocky Horror Picture Show back in the day, and I didn't know the deal.
Seriously?
So my date and I were in there, and people were squirting stuff at us, throwing things on us. I was getting so paid.
I bet you were.
See, you're no fun.
No fun.
You're no fun.
No.
This is sweet transvestite.
Yeah. Those were good
Tim
times.
Curry, man. Good days.
Good times.
Move to Nebraska, they say. They, as in the people from the quiet town with big ideas.
Oh, no.
Pawnee City, Nebraska, is offering $50,000 down payment to families or remote workers willing to move there. It's part of their New Vision 2030 plan to revitalize small town life. 25 brand new homes under construction, plans for more apartments and community space, safe neighborhoods, Saturday barbecues, pickleball courts, backed by grants, local support, and even Larry the Cable Guy, who was actually born in Pawnee City, Nebraska. Right now, according to the last census, they had 865 people in Pawnee City, Nebraska. So they're looking to bump that up a little bit. Not sure. I don't know if that would make me want to move $50,000 to Pawnee City, Nebraska.
For $50,000?
Yeah.
I don't know. Not exactly life changing, but I mean it's nice. But
I mean, you're just about an hour and a half from Omaha.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me just see here how far of a drive to Lincoln there.
And then you're not far from Kansas City.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So you can
it's
get
down the bottom right
Kansas
corner.
City. Yeah. You get. So I mean, I guess so. You can work. If you live in that neck of the woods, it might be worth doing it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Absolutely. So enjoy Pawnee City,
right,
Nebraska.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Meanwhile, if you're just going to enjoy life where you are, but you can't get to sleep at night, have I got something for you. Beam Organics presents the Beam Dream Powder. You know, one of the things that conservatives really believe in is self-reliance, and that includes taking care of your health. But when your sleep is off, you feel like garbage the next day. Used to toss and turn all night long, wake up groggy, dragging through my mornings, completely wiped out. But then I found Dream by Beam, and it changed everything. Beam is an American-made, hard working people manufactured product. Same values, and their dream powder is packed with science-backed ingredients like reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin. I love apigenin. Sometimes I'll try to just sprinkle apigenin on ice cream.
Do we mind that
Delicious.
here?
No, that all comes.
Okay.
Well, yes, it is American made.
Okay,
so
yeah, there you go.
Yes, we do.
There you go.
And melatonin, of course. No grogginess, just really good, deep, restful sleep. Tastes great. It comes with like 15 calories, I think, and sugar-free. It's great. You don't have to worry about whether this is ruining your diet if you're on one. And it does taste great. I love the salted caramel. And I'm not the only one. Beam's already helped improve the sleep of over 17.5 million people. Here's the deal. Beam is giving my listeners the ultimate Patriot discount of 40% off. So you can try their best-selling Dream Powder, get 40% off for a limited time. Go to shopbeam.com/Pat and use the promo code Pat at checkout. That's shop, BEAM, shopbeam.com/Pat. Support an American company. Invest in yourself and start getting your best sleep tonight.
Pat Gray is Unleashed.
Yes, he is. And we continue on with Chewing the Fat here on Pat Gray Unleashed. Be sure to subscribe to my daily show, Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher, available wherever you get your podcast. Chewing the Fat with Jeff Fisher. Rate and review where possible. I appreciate it. The Transportation Security Administration, you know him, you love him as TSA, has announced that it will be relaxing some of its restrictions on liquids and gels in carry-on luggage in the near future. There are already 11 items that you can travel with any size that has changed. Remember, they can only fly with 3.4 ounces in containers in a clear plastic bag. That's all about to change. They say that the liquid limits are actually a counterterrorism measure. Okay. I guess that's the only amount that could blow up, could detonate in a plane without causing catastrophic damage. Okay, but if there's multiple, anyway, just for your safety.
I can't tell you how many times there have been exploding toothpaste tubes on flights all over the world.
And if they were bigger tubes, you'd be dead.
Breast milk is also highly flammable.
Yes.
A new computed tomography scanners that can analyze the contents in bottles are currently being installed in the nation's busiest airports. So this means that full-size items could soon be on the roster again. They're releasing 11 items no longer have to fit the 3-ounce rule. Over-the-counter medications, prescription medications in gel, liquid, or aerosol form, ice packs or gel packs for medically necessary items. I thought those were going on anyway. Food and drink for infants and toddlers. Wet batteries. Not sure what that is.
What are wet batteries?
I don't know. I do not know that. Live fish transported in water.
I can finally bring my fish with
biological specimens.
Finally.
Breast milk or baby formula.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Liquid-filled teethers. Duty-free items sealed in a tamper-evident bag.
Duty.
Fresh eggs. How often have you flown with fresh eggs?
Oh, Chris.
Every time you go
around the clock.
So if everything goes according to the TSA plan, which I'm sure it will, shampoo, perfume, sunscreen, and body washes could soon join this list. They're already have the machines in Atlanta, JFK, LAX, but a lot of the airports haven't adopted the rule yet, so... if you leave one of those airports and go to another airport that doesn't have it adopted, now you're breaking their rules, and so good luck traveling with that until the information is all in there. You can always just go to the My TSA app, just handy dandy, and they'll let you know what you can bring on your trip. That's all I want to do is look at the TSA app. That's for sure. Let's see. What do we have time for? Let's do Let's do sad news. A quick sad news story.
Sadder than Wink Martindale?
Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right.
The U.S. Department of Transportation announced that it's going to pull a $63.9 million grant to fund the high-speed rail project in Texas.
No,
the
they're
Dallas-Houston rail line.
I was just going to say, is it the Dallas to Houston
The
thing?
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy said
They've only planned that for about 75 years.
if the private sector wants the rail line, they're going to have to do it without federal help.
Oh, wow.
So,
wow.
Okay.
All right.
No rail line. I don't know how I'm going to get to Houston now.
Probably the same way you ever have, I would imagine.
How's that, Pat?
Well,
How's that? There's no train ride.
You could take a car, or you could take an airplane.
I can't take
pretty
I can't
newfangled
take a train,
stuff.
can
both
I?
of them. No, you cannot. You cannot take a train to Houston.
There's no rail.
Nope. Sorry.
No high-speed rail.
No.
Oh, that's sad.
Can't even take a steam train to Houston. That's how behind the times we
Thank
are
you.
in Texas.
Thank you. Maybe the government could give them a little bit of money for that. That'd be nice. What
do you want to bet a steam train would cost more than the high-speed rail?
Oh, in today's world?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I bet it would.
Yeah, absolutely. Under the heading of, okay, shut up, Trump hater, director Chris Columbus, who directed Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, released in 1992. It's a sequel to the story of Kevin McAllister, who boards a flight to New York instead of Miami. After landing in New York, he makes his way to the Plaza Hotel, where Culkin's character bumps into Trump, who owned the Plaza at the time, and asks him for directions.
Yeah.
Kid's always getting lost.
I know. This is a good one. I like Home Alone 2.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and to the left.
Thanks.
Brilliantly done.
Awesome. No doubt about it. He said that, he fears that Donald Trump's administration would deport him if he cut the president's cameo from his film.
Oh, brother.
And so he was speaking to the San Francisco Chronicle. Thank you. That's what the headline was under the heading of, okay, shut up, Trump. Speaking to the San Francisco Chronicle, he said, it's become a curse. It's become an albatross for me. I just wish it was gone. The filmmaker was born and raised in the United States, but as an Italian ancestry, I'd be worried that he'd want me to go back to Italy or something if I nixed the scene.
Okay.
I can't cut it. If I cut it, I'll probably be sent out of the country. Calm down, Chris, because it's not going to happen. First of all, he even goes on to say that he claims that Trump bullied him into being in the movie because he said we paid the fee for the hotel.
Out of here.
And Trump said, "Oh well, you can use my hotel and you pay me the fee, but I've got to be in the movie."
Well, that's
which
fair.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And he said that they showed it to the screeners and everybody loved the moment that he showed up.
Yeah.
So
obviously.
he said, just leave it in.
Jeez.
But if he takes it out,
he'll be deported.
Yeah. Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
And great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. Let me just start out by telling you about Kexi cookies. Do you like and support small American businesses?
Sometimes.
It doesn't get any smaller than a business with one location, run by a family. Also, we only do cookies and a couple other baked goods. We don't make shampoo at all.
Really?
There's no shampoo, no deodorant. Man. We got no deal with Dove or anybody else. Johnson & Johnson.
I might wipe down some Kexi caramel cookie deodorant, but go ahead.
Okay, but we don't have any.
Okay.
So you'll have to settle for like our cookies of the month, like the honey pistachio. It's golden and nutty. Honey pistachio is a cookie it has a luxurious blend, is what I'm told. I don't eat pistachios, but it's a luxurious blend of sweet honey, crunchy pistachios, and a creamy white chocolate, all packed into a soft, delicious cookie.
Yes, please.
And at the heart of this cookie lies a rich, homemade filling that adds an extra layer of indulgence to every bite. Oh, and you know what else is back? The blueberry lemon. That might be my favorite
That's
cookie.
pretty good.
I keep going back to that, and every time I taste it, I'm like, no, this one's my favorite.
That's good.
It's a perfect balance of sweet and tangy, featuring chewy dried blueberries and creamy white chocolate inside a soft buttery cookie. Topping of fresh lemon glaze adds the perfect touch on top. Delicious. Let me tell you what Susan had to say about it. I've listened to Pat, Keith, Jeffy, and Chris go on and on about how good these cookies are. So I finally ordered a dozen. They might be biased, but wow, I agree with them. They are huge and delicious. One just might be too much to eat at one sitting.
Whoa,
don't try to tell Jeffy that. Don't tell him that. He'll get pissed. These are the best. If you had 10 stars, I would have given it 10 stars. Thank you, Susan. And she's only saying that, of course, because it's true. That's the only reason. So find out for yourself. Go to Kexi.com, K-E-K-S-I, Kexi.com.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I want to talk on the phone at 888-900-3393 to people who are pissed at us because we've been talking about the Maryland man. And we're confused. We're concerned, I guess. I'm not, vehemently pissed off about it, but I just would like to see the evidence on this guy. I'd love to hear from the most hardcore Trump supporters today. You know what? Everybody associated with this show supports Donald Trump and his agenda, right?
Absolutely.
We've praised him relentlessly for the job he's done so far since he took office. But, we also tell you the truth if we disagree with things. We're not going to change our principles just to match whatever President Trump is doing, just so that we never disagree with him. When we have doubts or some issues, we're going to talk about that. And I certainly did that and continue to do it with people like George W. Bush. I mean, why is it out of bounds now? A case in point, the third term discussion. It's unconstitutional, and I don't support it. And I also think it's harmful to him to keep bringing it up. Bringing up the possibility that, I might just stay in office. Well, that plays into everything they're saying.
Yeah, it sure does.
So I don't like it.
And there's enough out there for him to troll them without doing that.
That's right.
I do agree with that. Yeah.
And yes, lately we've had some concerns about this El Salvadoran policy. Nobody supports his overall agenda on illegal immigration more than I do. I've been really clear and outspoken on that since long before he was. Because it was such a big problem in Houston 25 years ago that we fought that fight every day on the air. Literally I was so adamant about it that our station van with a KPRC logo was graffitied with threats and insults against me because of my stance on immigration. Not once, not twice, but at least 3 times.
That get to change your mind?
And each time, no, they didn't change my mind.
Okay.
But every time they did it, it cost the station another $10,000 to fix it. Or more. In fact, after the third time, my program director called me into the office, and he said, hey, we've already spent $30,000 on fixing the van. So if it happens again, we're just going to leave it. I'm like, well,
that sounds like Ken.
Yep. Understandable.
Okay. No, don't.
Or I think he gave me the option of, or you could pay for it. No, I think you leave it that way. Just leave it. So
it becomes a better bit with it just graffitied.
Yeah, it actually.
Personally, I believe
it's true.
Look for the graffitied KRPC van, or KPRC van, so that was destroyed by illegals.
Right.
They need to get out of the country.
Right. And look, I love his immigration policy. It's what we've needed for about 60 years now. I just want it to be constitutional and legal, especially with this guy in Maryland who had a protective order against being deported. I did some research yesterday, though, on the Maryland man. And it turns out that when you combine all of the various information that we're getting on this guy from the mainstream media, you really start to gain an understanding of what the problem is. Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia, or Bob, as his close friends.
Oh, is it Bob? Okay.
His close friends call him
I wish they would just do that then.
Uh-huh. But as you know, he's a married father of 3. But beyond that, being a vicious MS-13 gang member, that's just his night job. Okay? By morning, Kilmar, or Bob, as those of us who care so deeply about him call him, he runs an orphanage for dyslexic, handicapped orphans with ADHD.
Is that true?
Yeah. Yep, that's what I've learned. That's what I learned from the mainstream media.
Cannot be true.
And then in the afternoon,
What do you mean it can't be true?
in the afternoon, he would go directly to a homeless shelter where he prepared gourmet meals.
Wait a minute.
For 7,000 homeless, one-legged veterans every day. Every day. This man.
I mean, is he up for sainthood?
How much time does he have in the
fascinating.
day?
Right? I mean, this guy takes full advantage of the time that he has available to him.
And this is Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Bob, the El Salvador, Maryland man.
Exactly. In fact, the Pope, thank you for bringing this up, because Pope Francis is so moved by his selfless nature of this wonderful Maryland man and his good works,
right,
that he's making an exception. Usually you have to be dead to be granted sainthood. He's trying to make him a saint right now.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, we're going to get St. Bob, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
He also said that if he weren't in this, mega max prison in El Salvador right now, he would have appointed him to the Maryland College of Cardinals. Where he would have,
actually, I do believe.
Yeah, he would have. He would have. He would have been made the captain of the College of Cardinals lacrosse team.
Really?
Which I don't have to tell you. The College of Cardinals lacrosse team, second to none. I'm pretty sure they beat the Duke lacrosse team this year.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. So
there's another joke in there somewhere.
I mean, yes, that is basically the way he's being portrayed in the media. Okay. He's a saint. I get that. But if we could just understand the process here, the reasoning, it would be very helpful. Is that too much to ask? That we just, if there's evidence that he was really a bad guy, he's a terrorist, show us what you have on the guy. And while I'm not saying he shouldn't have been deported, except for the fact that he had a protective order not to deport him. So how do you get around that? How did you get around that?
Yeah.
And they've said in multiple filings they made a mistake. Well, correct it then.
Well, but see, that's where the area lies. See, I was really angry, and at one point I was like, well, no. All right, so if they made a mistake, then you bring him back, right?
Yeah.
And you bring him back. And then, we're told that Donald Trump doesn't have the authority to bring him back. And I thought, well, I don't believe that.
And then Bukele said he doesn't have the authority.
I personally don't believe that. If Donald Trump wants someone back from another country, especially the country that we're giving money to, I don't know what our arrangement is with El Salvador, but we're sure we have one because he's busy building a new prison right next door.
Right.
And I'm sure that money's coming from somewhere. Us. So, if Donald Trump wants someone back, you're going to get him back. I believe that.
Oh, yeah.
I personally believe that.
I do too.
And so that's where I was at. I was like, no, I don't believe that you don't have the power to get him back. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. And then homeboy from El Salvador, Bugali, says that he doesn't have the authority. And I'm like, well, wait a second.
Mm-hmm. Right. Who does?
So who does?
Who does?
But then, you find, and I was like, okay, so I don't know that I believe that.
It is Easter time. Does Jesus have to come down?
I guess so.
And release the guy?
I guess so.
Maybe.
But then it's pointed out to me that, he is an El Salvadorian citizen.
Right.
Right. So once we made the mistake of shipping him back to El Salvador.
Yeah. So tough.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
Beautifully put, Jeff.
Sorry.
So that turned you around is the word tough.
Yeah, that's the way it goes.
And that's where a lot of people are, honestly.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah.
So
I think that's kind of the middle position, honestly. People are like,
oh, well.
Yeah, it's one guy,
we're sorry. Right. And I know that, that one guy leads to, how many of our other guys.
Yeah. And I just don't like the precedent of ignoring the process. If the process sucks so much, we have a system in place. Our form of government allows us to change it. Mm-hmm. Congress could do their job and take away these powers from judges.
Sure.
They have that ability.
And what's the power? What's the judge's order means nothing really, because
even the Supreme Court's order means nothing.
Means nothing.
Facilitate his return.
Right, because
what does that even mean? Facilitate. Well, we did. We tried.
We tried, and he came to the Oval Office and said, "No, we're not shipping him back. We're not shipping."
Yeah, he did. And he said it in front of the world.
Yeah.
And again,
he said he didn't have the power. The Bukele said he didn't have the power.
We're not shipping him back.
And okay, and again,
why are you so adamant about it, though? I mean, I don't necessarily know that he needs to come back to the United States. He doesn't, even though there was a protective order. But let him out of prison. Unless there's, and I guess that's on El Salvador, right?
And that's where I'm at. Like, I want. Do I want?
That's where the tough comes in,
right? All right, man.
And
I know.
We all agree, correct? Yeah. This man should not be in the United States.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Except for the order that he should shouldn't be removed.
And we might not, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with that.
With
that protective order. You know what I mean?
Right, but that's part of the process. Yeah. You eventually get to the point where you ship him out of here.
And that's where we're at, right?
But what we've done...
That he's part of a terrorist group. As soon as he comes back to the United States, we ship him back again.
Precisely. If you find... And that's where the burden is on the Trump administration, since they deported him under that gang affiliation order the designation
that they cited.
Then now you go and you prove that.
Yeah.
And then you send him to the prison.
Yeah.
Or you don't prove that he's a gang member. You deport him anyway after you figure out how to go through the process. But right now, the last order was the protective order. Then there was we screwed up and accidentally sent him to that prison.
Sorry about it.
Again, you've admitted...
Yeah, that you made a mistake.
That you made a mistake
so
here.
fix it.
But what do you want? But they can't.
Yes, they can. They can.
Pat,
you just said you don't believe. Okay, so if anybody, and it's hard to believe, anybody could, but if anybody has a better explanation than Jeffy's tough,
I mean, that's honestly...
we want to hear from you.
That's where, that's where a lot of people are at this point. They're like, hey, you know what? He's out of the country, not in America.
I'm happy that he's out of the country.
Enough.
And
some eggs are going to get broken while we try to fix this omelet.
The problem is bigger. It's beyond
in the
just
future. I think you're right. If this is where you're headed, I think in the future, this does need to be looked at. Like right now, we don't need to be saying, "Oh, we made a mistake" anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so just keep it in your inside voice, is what you're saying. No, what I'm saying is, back after the Patriot Act, I was on board with it immediately, and then after a few years, I realized, oh my gosh, there's a lot of problems that I have with this. This could really be abused at some point. Well, this could set a precedent where who knows what's going to be going on 20 years from now. Well, look, precedent was set. Tough.
Right.
We're shipping so-and-so out.
It's a tough act.
Yeah.
It's a tough... Anyway, we got a call. I don't know if you...
Yeah, we're going to get to Tammy here in just a second. First, what's the healthiest meal you've eaten lately? That's a tough one for me. Your crazy schedule makes eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables probably virtually impossible, right? We're human. So I certainly don't always eat healthy. I try to more than I did before I had diabetes, that's for sure. But that's why doctors created Field of Greens. It's a delicious, it's fantastic. It's nutritional armor for your body, really. Each fruit and vegetable was doctor selected for a specific health benefit. There's a heart health group. There are lungs and kidney groups, metabolism, even healthy weight groups that you can take here. I love the energy I get with Field of Greens, but most of all, I really like the confidence that even if I have a cheat day or a burger from time to time, I can enjoy it guilt-free because of Field of Greens. It's the nutrition my body needs every day, and only the Field of Greens makes you this better health promise. Your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. Let me get you started with my special discount. I got you 20% off your first order. 20%. Just use the promo code PAT at fieldofgreens.com. That's promo code PAT at fieldofgreens.com.
Making the apocalypse fun. Pat Gray Unleashed returns after this.
Yeah, welcome. All right. 888-900-3393. We're just looking for help on this El Salvadoran thing. The wonderful man from Maryland who's
a Maryland man
is on his way to sainthood. If the Pope has his way, I think. Based on
if he could get out of prison.
What I've seen in the mainstream media. Yeah, if he gets out of prison, even if he's in prison, maybe he'll get sainted. I don't know. But should he be there? Are you okay with it? Should we just say, okay, good. This is the way it works now. They shouldn't be here in the first place. We all know that. They should be deported. But if they have a protective order like this guy did, should they wind up in an El Salvador prison?
And our protective orders, that might be part of the problem, too. Are these things just one and done? Are you good for the rest of your life? Do you have to, you see what I'm saying? Like,
I don't think it was, though. This
date?
one was.
Yeah,
this one did have an expiration date, right?
When was it?
I don't know. I remember reading. I'll find it. But I remember reading that it was there was a point in time when it was supposed to expire.
See, I couldn't find that.
Okay, let's go to Tammy in Georgia. Hey, Tammy, welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
I just want to say that I was on my way home last night from MTG's town hall.
Oh, that got exciting, huh?
Yeah, it did. And the people in the car, it wasn't my car, but we were listening to talk radio. And I don't know what the station was, but they were saying, and I was shocked when I heard it, but they were saying that this guy did not actually marry this girl. He actually got her pregnant, didn't marry her until he was arrested.
Okay.
Now, I'm not a researcher.
Mm-hmm.
And when I bring up the internet, all I get is left-wing stuff. And, and I'm not a left-winger. I am a MAGA supporter. I've been a MAGA supporter since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's a true story, but I think somebody should be looking into that.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into that.
Also, I don't care I should care, but I don't because about him being in prison because as soon as he came across the border, he committed a crime.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. That is true. Yep.
So no, I think.
So
and I don't know about this protective order either. They use that to their advantage.
Oh, sure. Yeah. But you're with Jeffy in that basically your thought process is tough, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Thanks, Tammy. Appreciate it. So tough. He did. Yeah, I know. He did break the law. He broke the law. Yes, he should be deported.
And because he was from El Salvador, that actually, kind of makes a difference because now we shipped him back to El Salvador, and so
so it's up to El Salvador now what they do with their own citizens.
Sorry about it. Yeah,
and I think that's the theory for all these deportations. All the supposed gang members that we sent back there that we deported. They, and then El Salvador just rushed them directly to prison. They didn't have a trial. They didn't have any due process. Well, that's on El Salvador, that part, right? I think, and there's hundreds of them.
And then many of those prisoners aren't from El Salvador.
Yeah, right? Some of them are Venezuelans.
That's what I mean.
Tren de Aragua gang members.
I still have a really hard time believing that my president can't tell El Salvador, we want that guy. Send him back.
Yeah, if he wanted to do that, I really think he could.
It's a difficult thing for me to believe.
But now we might get Senator Van Hollen of Maryland. He's headed down there today to try to get Garcia.
Try to get him out?
Yeah. Now, I'm just wondering, can we do an exchange?
Good luck
Van
with
Hollen
that.
for... that's a tough one. I don't know.
You sure about that?
I don't know who I want back.
So we'll see. I don't know if he's going to show up at the gate and be like, "Hey, can I come in?" So I don't know. Good luck to him. But
interesting.
Sure
what
is.
a grandstand move, though.
Oh, totally.
You think? I mean, if he could accomplish that, I would be blown away. Absolutely
not a chance.
Stunned.
Well,
There's no way.
He even said in one of his interviews that he sent some letter or email or signal message to what's his face from El Salvador, and hadn't got a response.
Yeah.
So I mean,
well, that's because he was here. So maybe you should have sent the correspondence
hung out outside the White House
to him here. Yeah. Yeah. He's not home right now, Senator. He's not home. So good luck with that. I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to see. What time is he supposed to get there? Do we have any idea when his arrival is? Because I can't wait to see what happens when he shows up at the prison demanding him be released.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
And are you even going to know what he looks like when...
no, he has no.
He has no idea.
Absolutely has
no idea.
Zero idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just looking out on the horizon here, just be aware of Merwil Gutierrez, who's a 19-year-old Venezuelan man who was deported to El Salvador. Another what could be an error by ICE.
Oh, no, really?
Yeah.
Are they saying it might be an error?
Yeah, so when they went to arrest people, one of the ICE agents reportedly said, no, he's not the one. And then another ICE agent said, take him anyway. And so those are the reported quotes from the scene.
And was he already sent to El Salvador?
Yeah, that's my understanding. So,
so we're going to be hearing about that.
Probably be hearing about that one as well.
Is he from El Salvador?
No, Venezuelan. And let's see. His family and attorneys say he has no criminal record, no gang affiliations, quote, not even a tattoo, which authorities often use to profile.
Why was he with all these people then?
Yep. So that's what we're going to find out. That's why we have a process.
Yep.
We do. Now he's in jail.
Tough.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
I'd like to tell you a story, son.
If it's not about a king, then I'm not interested.
It just so happens that this story is about the King of Kings.
Huh?
Our story begins 2,000 years ago in the little town of Bethlehem.
For unto you is born this day a Savior, which is Christ the Lord.
So what did they do?
Well, let's see.
To raise Lazarus from the dead. No one will ever follow him again. I mean, unless Lazarus just walks out of the...
Have faith in me and you will be saved.
All right, 888-900-3393. We've got this controversial situation, too, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area with this real awful tragedy that happened a couple of weeks ago in Frisco at the track meet, where a high school student, 17-year-old, was stabbed in the heart at this track meet because he asked somebody to leave the tent that he wasn't supposed to be in. And so the whole controversy is over, was it self-defense? I don't know. Did Austin Metcalf pull a gun on you? Or a knife? Or a baseball bat? No. He touched him because the kid said, what was his name? Metcalf, right? Yeah. No, Metcalf was the
Carmelo
one who was
Anthony.
killed. Carmelo Anthony, not the basketball player
that stabbed him.
Right. And he said, touch me and see what happens. And so he did see what happened. And what happened was he was stabbed in the heart and killed. So they just, yesterday, after the bond was lowered from $1 million to $250,000.
Yeah. So they got that. So he's out.
And now he's out on house arrest.
House arrest.
Yes.
And I think because of all the money they raised online, was it GoFundMe or was
one
it,
could surmise that
Give,
that's,
Send, Go, something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and keep in mind, Carmelo Anthony and his family received more money in donations than the Metcalf family.
Yeah, it's despicable. Yeah. It shows that that murder is acceptable to people now. Hey, I don't know how we got to where we are, but it's
very sad,
really horrific. Really, do we know how much they raised?
Oh,
it was 250 or 300,000.
Oh, it was
a
way
week
more.
or two
The
ago.
last one I saw was 4 or 5.
I saw 420,000 at last
it was
check.
400,000 or 500,000.
Yeah,
my
gosh.
And so
they took that money,
surmising,
and they bought a new house.
It looks that way. It looks that way. They've moved into a gated community, it's reported, with a nice new car in the driveway with temporary plates that expire on June 4th, which is 2 months after April 4th, which is 2 days after the stabbing, which one would be led to believe, if you do the math, that, they took the GoFundMe money and went out and bought a car.
He needed a new vehicle to drive back and forth to the jail. That's before he got out on bail.
Oh, yeah.
What was
and it had to be an Acura?
What was he supposed to do? Walk?
I see.
Okay.
I see. And so, it's a gated community.
Man.
The house is close to $900,000 that people are, they think they're everyone seems to be pretty sure that that's them.
There was a picture of the dad and he in front of a staircase. And thanks to social media investigative reporting, people looked at the house that was for sale and just purchased, has a staircase just like that.
Just like it. Yep.
Wow.
That's how they're figuring that one out.
Okay, that's interesting.
Isn't it, though?
So they may have, we don't know, but they may have taken the money raised online and just bought a new house and a new car.
Well, he's on house arrest.
Right. What are you going to do? Be in the old house?
So how are they going to be able to pay attorneys if they've already spent the money on a house and a car?
Interestingly, I
might be
know.
why. Well, I don't know why
more money's coming in.
I don't know why the one attorney left, but it's curious.
More money's coming in.
And don't forget, the video apparently does exist, according to Frisco police.
That's what we were told.
The attack.
But no one. I mean, that's obviously part of the court case now, so we're not going to see that for a while. But I mean, I'd love to see it. I can't wait till they show it in court.
In addition to the video, if there is one, there were 30 witnesses.
Right. Yeah.
So it's no mystery what happened here, and he cleared up the mystery when the police arrested him by saying. Because one of them said, this is the alleged perpetrator. It's like, it's not alleged. I did it.
I did it. Yeah. Oh. Okay.
Oh. All right. Well, we've got the admission then.
Is that just victim? And he's not the victim. Just utterings that we're not supposed to listen to?
I guess. Yeah, I guess so.
It's terrible. The whole thing is terrible. Really terrible.
Really,
and this is going to continue to be dragged through all of our hearts for the next months.
Yeah, and my heart just goes out to the Metcalf family. Thoughts and prayers are with you because I don't know how I would respond to any of this.
I don't either.
Right.
It wouldn't be good.
They laid Austin to rest on Saturday while the Anthony family is moving into their new digs with their new car.
Good gosh. It's hard to believe.
It is. It's
really hard to believe. But congratulations, I guess. Jeez. Wow. Well, maybe justice will wind up being done. I don't know. Is he even going to be tried as an adult? Because he's 17, right?
No, they said no.
They're not going to?
I don't think so. I don't think
golly.
that I don't know that they can. I forget. I was reading something that talked about how maybe that was just the death penalty. I can't remember. But I feel like they were in the one article that I read was like he's 17, so he won't be tried as an adult. I thought, okay,
all right,
okay,
jeez, amazing. All right. Also, the Trump administration has referred New York Attorney General Letitia James for possible prosecution.
What a shame.
Over allegations of mortgage fraud.
You hate to see it.
You do. You hate to see it.
Do you, though?
You hate to see it. Yeah, you hate to see it.
Huh. Okay.
I hate to see it.
My thought on this is tough. That's my thought. Tough.
It's just, I mean,
and things are tough all over, right?
They are.
So,
things are tough all over.
Yeah.
So if you're stretching the truth on your paperwork, that's against the law, Letitia.
That's so great.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's multiple houses that she committed, this mortgage fraud. So
didn't she say nobody is above the law?
That's exactly her
She sure
quote.
did say that. Multiple times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, she continues to bash Trump with that.
All right. Well,
that's so great.
So now...
So we'll keep an eye on that, too. Allegations of mortgage fraud. Huh. Isn't that fascinating?
A lot of people have said tough.
Tough. That's what people have said. Yeah, I've heard that. Heard that same thing. All right. Let me tell you about Frontier Magazine. This is something you need to hear about. It's bold, it's real, and it cuts through all the mainstream noise. Frontier Magazine by Blaze Media is back with issue number 2. So if you missed the first one, you missed a lot. This isn't just some run-of-the-mill magazine. Frontier is a patriotic movement. It's about truth and legacy. It's about stories that matter. And in issue 2, we've taken things to a whole new level. Issue 2 is bigger, bolder, and packed with a deep dive investigative journalism, exclusive interviews, and unapologetic storytelling that Blaze Media is known for. Frontier is a movement. It's a call to action for people who refuse to let history, values, and hard truths be rewritten or ignored. But here's the deal. You can't buy Frontier anywhere, not in stores, not online. The only way to get it is through Blaze Unlimited. Blaze Unlimited, though, is a lot more than just a way to get Frontier. You also get early access to exclusive events and VIP opportunities. You get dedicated customer support and VIP treatment, exclusive members-only content, and a premium experience for those who demand more. This is how you get plugged in. It's how you go deeper. This is how you stand with us. So go to blazeunlimited.com/Pat right now and lock in your subscription before we sell out again. And if you lock in your subscription today, you'll also get issue 1 of Frontier in full high-resolution digital. So it's not about just reading Frontier, it's about living it. Don't wait. Get in on this now before it's too late. Go to blazeunlimited.com/Pat.
Yes. Pat Gray continues.
So are Muslims about to buy a mega church in Texas? We got these massive communities that they're building, and they're keeping Christians and Jews out, and now they're trying to buy a mega church and turn that into a mosque, I guess?
Yeah, you're going to love this.
No, that's fun.
Yeah, more from Amy Mack. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Assalamu alaikum. The Texas Muslim community needs your help.
Need your help.
We have an opportunity today to buy one of the biggest churches in Texas and turn it into an Islamic center. This mega church can become one of the largest Islamic centers in Texas. It is a beautiful facility that can be used for a dawah center, a youth center, a classroom for school, a prayer hall, and so much more. It sits on 4 acres of land and is a staggering 56,000 square feet of built area. It already includes 3 buildings that are move-in ready, and we can just go in tomorrow. In the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, those who spend their wealth in Allah's way by night and by day, secretly and publicly, they will have their reward with their Lord, and no fear will there be concerning them. Nor will they grieve. We have an opportunity to buy this facility for $5.3 million, which is only $94 per square foot.
Wow, that's a good deal.
That is a great deal.
Donating your sadaqah and helping us complete our masjid. Assalamu alaikum.
What? What?
Oh,
I'm sorry. What was
Assalamu
No, okay.
Yeah, $94 a square foot. I've seen my property tax bill. That's a heck of a deal.
That's a really good deal, yeah. 56,000 square feet, and it's just Wow, it's a good price.
Yeah, it is.
So that's
Inshallah.
Cool. That's cool. Wait,
Praise be to Allah.
Where did it say that is at? That mega church?
I looked it up. It's I'll get back to you. It's a little town
outside of Houston.
No, I think it's around here. I'll get back to you. Maybe.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what to Google. A new mosque taking over mega church. I'll get back to you. It's Anyway, we have another clip while I look this up.
Yeah, the Poetry for Palestine night.
Yeah, oh yeah, this is Dearborn here,
Dearborn.
Heights, Michigan. Yeah, and so they're raising money for Palestinians.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sure it's awesome. Like I don't know if it's like an open mic or something. Like
you kidding me?
Right?
I'm sure it's fantastic.
And so this guy at the event has a message for the West.
Oh.
The message for the people of Gaza is going to be more of the message that should be sent to the people here, in that they have achieved victory. We haven't done anywhere near enough. And the people here, I promise you, we do feel ashamed. We do feel like we're not doing enough. We do feel like change needs to come, because change must come. And in the form that it must come is that this empire, the American empire that's been hurting our people since the beginning, that imperial Western powers that have been hurting our people since the beginning, they must fall. And inshallah, they will fall. And my message to the people of Gaza and the oppressed peoples across the world is that there are people here, both young and old, who are going to be willing to fight and are willing to put their lives and everything they can on the line to bring these empires down, because they must come down.
Jeez.
Cool.
Wow.
Okay.
They just continue to be bolder.
Yep.
And bolder.
That's exactly right.
Inshallah.
They're not even hiding it. It's right out there in the open. They keep telling us, are we ever going to believe them? That they're trying to destroy us?
Well,
and then they wonder, okay, why are we suspicious of these massive communities?
Right.
Huh. What kind of racist Islamophobe are you? Oh, I don't know. We've got guys like this saying it outright to our face. Are we supposed to ignore it? What kind of morons would we be if we didn't pay any attention to it? We've been trying to destroy them from the beginning. Good God. Has anybody ever heard of the piracy that was going on in the beginning of this republic? Ships that were being boarded by Muslim pirates in the Mediterranean over and over and over, stealing our goods and merchant wares and causing all kinds of... It cost us... I forget what the number was. It was something like 60 or 80% of our GDP in the beginning went to trying to defend ourselves against the Muslim pirates in the beginning, the Barbary pirates in the beginning. It got so bad that we finally had to send the stinking Marines there. That was our first ever military excursion as a nation.
I mean, that's where we got leathernecks.
After the Revolutionary War. That's where we got what? Yeah, that's where we got the leathernecks, because they wore leather around their necks because the Barbary pirates tried to cut their heads off.
Right.
With their swords. That was not us causing problems for Muslims. From the beginning, it has been them.
Yeah, 1/5 of our budget.
1/5
was going to pay ransom.
So it wasn't. The ransom that everybody was paying. Britain was paying it. France was paying it. Spain was paying it. And then we just got sick of it. And Thomas Jefferson finally said, "Nope, that's it. We're not doing it anymore.
Yep.
Send the Marines."
And to answer your question, Jeffy, that mosque plan at the megachurch is a little town that's off to the northeast. It's just past Plano.
Oh wow!
So it's out that.
Okay, so it's on that same area.
Yeah, that seems interesting. Yeah.
If you live in Plano, I bet you're feeling pretty comfortable with all this, right? I know I don't even live in Plano. I live across the Metroplex from it, and I'm feeling really comfortable with it. I'll tell you that.
Inshallah.
Praise Allah.
Praise be to Allah. Yeah. That's what we're all going to be saying pretty soon if we don't pay attention to it.
Inshallah.
Yep. Thank you, John Cornyn.
It's nice that their senator is already on board with their
yes, that's great.
Language there, I guess.
And he's been on board for some time.
Yes, he has.
That happened a while ago. So good for him. All right. Well, good.
Yes, he has. Jeez. Be interesting to see what the donations to his campaign.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be interesting?
From the local Muslim communities.
Huh.
In the greater state of Texas.
Might be worth a look sometime.
I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know. Could be zero.
Yeah, it might be.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Okay, now I'm looking.
Well, you look that up. Let me give you some good news. A far-left online project from the Smithsonian Institute has disappeared. Just weeks after President Donald Trump signed the executive orders enforcing laws against racial discrimination. The project was previously exposed for pushing racist claims about white people. Soon after taking office in January, Trump signed the executive orders ending illegal discrimination and restoring merit-based opportunity and ending radical and wasteful government DEI programs and preferencing. The orders banned discrimination in the name of diversity across the government and directed the Attorney General to enforce anti-discrimination law accordingly. So, following these orders, the Smithsonian removed its main webpage on talking about race. Sometime between late February and early March, they got rid of it. The page now redirects to teaching and learning resources. The Smithsonian's National Museum of African American History and Culture is in the process of integrating content from the Talking About Race portal into our flagship website. This transition is part of our ongoing efforts to enhance the digital experience for the more than 6 million online visitors we serve.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, they may end up with, obviously we'll see, but I mean, many of the universities are going to end up being like the Smithsonian. If we'll see how much of the wording is actually changed but means the same thing.
That's what I'm hoping isn't the case.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in 2020, the museum drew ire for its graphic claiming, quote, common characteristics of most U.S. white people include master and control nature, heavy value on ownership of goods, space, property, and steak and potatoes. Bland is best. Okay. All right. So that's what they were saying in these.
So if I like steak and potatoes, which I do.
Which I do too.
way.
I do
I'm a
too.
fan.
So they're right. I guess they're right about that. Here we are, white people, and we like steak and potatoes. Do black people or Hispanics not
I guess
like
not.
steak and
I
potatoes?
guess not. It's rice. It's rice.
I don't know. The museum still hosted a page
Right.
on whiteness until at least March 4th, targeting supposed white dominant culture, white privilege, and microaggressions.
Okay.
Whiteness is also at the core of understanding race in America. Whiteness and the normalization of white racial identity throughout America's history have created a culture where non-white persons are seen as inferior or abnormal. How do you have that on a government website?
I don't know. Well, they obviously
How did it take Donald Trump to finally put a stop to this?
Because the other dingleberries
It's incredible.
believe it.
Yeah, they do. Yes. Biden loved it. Unbelievable. The self-loathing white people in the Democrat Party. It's hard to get your head around. Smithsonian claimed that if you identify as white, acknowledging your white racial identity and its privileges is a crucial step to help end racism.
I mean, this is what they're teaching in schools. That's why the kids have in front of their faces every day.
Yeah. It even cited the queen of DEI herself, Robin DiAngelo, to describe white fragility. Since white people live in a social environment that insulates them from race-based stress, whites are rarely challenged and have less of a tolerance to race-based stress.
Okay.
For white people doing anti-racist and social justice work, the first meaningful step should be to recognize their fragility around racial issues and build their emotional stamina. Besides your own internal reflection, processing, and daily commitment to anti-racist work, try participating in affinity groups or caucuses.
Oh, I love those.
I'm a member of 7 affinity groups right now.
What about caucuses?
Right now, I only have.
What about
I'm only a part of 3 caucuses, but I'm pretty proud that I'm in 7
you need
affinity
to expand
groups.
your caucuses.
You think?
Caucusing. Yeah.
Okay. Is it cockeye?
Yeah, it's cockeye.
It's cockeye. Yeah. Careful.
I know. I stopped.
Yeah. What exactly is, I'm asking you because obviously I know being a part of 7 of them, but what exactly is an affinity group? Jeffy, Keith, I open it up to the class.
I would say that if
an affinity group,
that it's a group that gets together.
Okay.
Hold on. I'm looking at the definition. I want to see how close
And
he
has
gets.
affinity for
Group
others.
that gets together.
Yes.
And decides just how bad their race is.
Oh, okay.
And how they've kept
All right.
the man down.
How'd he do in the official definition?
I mean, affinity group, according to AI, is a group of people united by a shared identity, interest, or purpose, often used to create a safe space for individuals to connect and support each other.
Oh.
Good job.
You put a negative spin on
Yeah,
it,
you
of course,
went-
because you're
Oh,
white.
okay. Oh, that's what happened.
And you're fragile.
Exactly.
It's your white fragility showing
That's
right
what
now.
happened. Yeah.
I'm embarrassed for you, frankly.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
White privilege on
Got to go to another
display.
caucus today, I guess.
How many caucuses have you been to so far?
0.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. But you can fix it. That's the good news.
I can.
You can fix it now.
Can I join one of your affinity groups?
No, they're all full.
Oh,
they're all full up. Yeah, it's just
Oh.
we're stuffed.
Where do
full
y'all
of
meet?
people. Different places. I can't say because it's security purposes.
Okay. Is there a road to get there?
Not for you.
Not for you. No, not from your house. So, dang it. Darn. Wish there was.
Do you?
I really do. I wish there were.
And even if there were, they're booked up.
Right.
They're full.
Well, that's true.
Doesn't matter.
Well, can you
That's
give me
true.
an early heads up next time y'all plan a meeting?
Sure.
And that way I'll.
Sure, I can.
I'll know.
You bet. You bet.
I'm not saying it like
Get
you
in touch
mean it.
with you. No, I'll get right in touch with you as I
I've heard that
often do.
sound
Keith,
before.
As I often do. On Friday evening, the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem announced that digital ID known as Real ID, which requires a high-resolution digital facial image, would be required by May 7th to fly and enter federal buildings, of course. Starting May 7th, you're going to need one. Did you see her announcement, her video announcement? It was like, this is a brand new thing, and I still don't
It's
think
not
I
a
brought
brand
that
new
up
thing.
yesterday. I don't understand it.
It's not a brand new thing.
No, it's been 20 years.
They just
coming.
kept putting it off.
This was a George
They kept
W. Bush
postponing
thing.
it. Yeah, they just kept postponing it. Texas, I mean, if you got a new license in Texas, you already have it.
You're in it. Yeah.
You already
you're in
have it.
But I think they're going to apply it. I think the difference is, are they going to apply it to the voting booth now? You're going to have to show your ID,
I haven't seen
right?
any confirmation on that.
That's what I'm hoping.
Only
I thought
that is one way they could use it, but I haven't seen a confirmation of that.
Maybe one of the most important
Right.
uses.
Right. Now, Thomas
of it.
Massey says, here's how they're going to use it. You can get ready for it. This is what we were against 20 years ago, a federal database.
Big time, yeah.
And now, too many people just seem, well, you know, what can you do? And he's worried about a gun registry. And I think the word that the proponents of Real ID are saying tough.
Tough.
I think they are.
That's part of my tough act.
Yeah. Tough.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.